of our build, and there are 22 pages actually in the build. So, but I think the assembly after we get all the pieces made will take, doesn't usually take quite as long. So now we are going to work on the basket, decorative painting, some books, and a box, and a couple little paper bags. So let's flip the camera and get going. So if you've joined me before, welcome back. If you've not, this is Building of the Miller's Garden by Roy. So the things that we're going to work on, we are going to be building this little basket, a decorative painting, the books that go into this, another little box here, and a couple little paper bags. So away we go. I have pre-scored our little cardboards for doing our little stuff. So let's get her. All right, so first we're going to work on this little guy. Pre-scoring this, it just makes it easier because it's very hard to fold it on a straight line, at least a nice crisp line, without adding little scores. So let's bend this so we can fit it like so, and then we're gonna glue the little edges, and then we put this little guy on, which is the handle, and then we will be wrapping the box and the handle with that. So this is the next piece in the build. And if you watched from earlier, this little piece of cork is actually my chickens. And that's so. Welcome back, and hope you enjoy watching. Apply glue to each of the little tabbies. Glue sets up pretty quickly. And you're more than welcome to add comments and talk and whatever else. They don't actually show up in the final, and I can't actually see them right away when you're on here. So, but welcome to building our Miller's Garden. And all the little components that go into it. Our little box. Our little box. And now this is the handle. No, it has little lines on it, so you can see where it lines up. So this needs a little bit of rolling to fit. In our little basket. So I'm only going to put a little bit of glue on each end. And make sure it moves just enough. A little bit of glue on each end. And once everything dries, I have to go through and remove all the little webbings that happen with it. And I'll give that just a moment to set up so that way I'll be able to wrap it without it slipping on me. It sets up fairly quickly. So this is going to be our little basket. All right, so I'm going to let that set up, and while that's setting up, I'm going to move on to the next piece of this. Stay there in the middle there, guy. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right, set that aside. This is all going to get wrapped on that. So the next thing I'm going to do is build this little guy, which is going to be our decorative painting. I already have the parts pre-cut and everything, as you can. As I put them up over here, I'll bring them down so you can see them. And this is the little tiny decoration that we're going to wrap with our little piece of foil.
And here's the frame. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to wrap the foil around our little bead. And this has a sticky side and a non-sticky side. But first I have to remove the backing, which can be a little tricky, and it's thin, so. Here we go. All right. Open. Ta-da. All right. And this just kind of wraps around the middle of our bead. That's that pit. Once I got that wrapped, and then we're going to put in a little greenery. So a little bit of greenery goes in the top end of this. And I pre-selected a few little pieces of the greenery. Actually, the greenery when it comes in is pretty big, so it's actually like a massive greenery. And so it's hard to separate it out. And it's kind of stuck to the pink stuff too, so that's the greenery. It's a mess. So I select out just a few little pieces, and then we put that in there. So I'm going to put some glue in the end here to stick our greenery in. There we go. All right. And I am going to use my little tweezers for putting this in, just so my fingers don't stick to it. And the greenery is pretty fragile, so separating it out is pretty challenging too, which is why on previous projects and stuff I keep the greenery just in case I need extra. So that's that little piece, and then it's going to go on there. Now what I'm going to do is take the cardboard backing and this little paper cutout, and each of these has a different number and everything, but I pre-cut them out to make it easier for myself. So, and I always double check to make sure that I'm using the right side of it. With this one, they want us to use the brown side out for everything, so that side's white. So that sticks on there. See, so it kind of has a wood texture to it. So it kind of looks like a little wood back. It's a piece of paper, but it looks like wood. And then I'm going to slide apply some glue to the outside for putting the frame on. And here's our little frame. So the little frame goes on it, like so. And once the frame is on it, then I can place the decorative part, this little guy, in the middle of it. So we're going to make a nice little gloobie here in the middle to hold it in place, to hold our bead. And I want that pretty little flower sticking out. So, and this bead does have a flat side, but I didn't want the flat side on the board because then you can't see the pretty flower. So I turn it the way I want it. And once it dries, it's not going anywhere. So that is that. That is our little decorative painting for the, I'll set that aside. Next part that I'm going to work on is going to be the booklets. So the booklets look like these. This is what they look like when they're kind of assembled. What they are before they're assembled, which is pretty cool, is this. They're like little miniature botany pictures. And to know which way to fold it, when you have a little red line, it gets folded up. Little black line, fold down. Can you see the difference? And so for me to do this, trying to read my comment here. What am I making? This is called the Miller's Cart. So it's actually made by Roll Life. It's a miniature that builds a garden house. Kind of the outside of the garden house. So that's what it looks like. So fold. This kind of gets folded accordion style. Like so. We're making our little botany book. Red dotted lines down below, black on top. And this is like the little book cover. So once it's done, then it goes inside here once we finish folding it. And that gets that on a little table inside the full build. Just folding to make the little book. And I was looking at some more builds that I can build. That's not on the line, so I'm gonna have to adjust that one a little bit, because that's where it was folded in the kit itself. So I'm gonna kind of roll it. There we go. So these are components that go into the Miller's Garden. It's a build by Roll Life. And I was looking through some other builds by Roll Life, and some of them don't have as much detail as these ones that I've decided to do that have the garden in them. There'll be a lot of plants. So even though folding isn't all that interesting, it is part of the components that go into it. And some people just kind of prefer things to go fast forward. I'm not that type. I like people to see from beginning to end the build. All right. And this creates our little booklet. Now to fold this, because this is the book that it goes into. That's not perfect. All right, set. Make sure I put this in here right side up and not upside down. And this will go in here. Once I do get it glued, I do have my little clips to hold it in place. So we're going to put glue here in the binding of the little book. Oh, come on. Apologies for when this goes blurry. I want to make sure I put a good amount in there. Book. There you go. That is going to sit in there like that. And now to make make sure that this doesn't go flying open while it's drying, I'd have a little clip. Grab one of my little clips, and we're going to hold a little book till it dries. Oh, stringies. Okay, that's that one. And now the next one, this is the cover for the next one. So I'm going to fold that on its little lines. And I think one of the next ones will be a bookstore, but this one right now is the Miller's Garden. If you want to see more of what's went into this build, go ahead and look up the other ones, other components that went into building this one. So, line it up. And this gets folded just like when you're folding a fan when you were little. Or if you still like folding fans. I know I still sometimes do that. Line that up. So the one was like they're like kind of like botany books, gardener's books, plant identification kind of things. If you're just joining me, this is the Miller's Garden. We are building the components that go into the Miller's Garden, which is why we have little books that have pictures on them. And we will be, a lot of the other things that go into it will be building as well, which will be the flowers, the ivies. This is a wired house too, so it ends up, it does have lights that go in it. Come on. It's got that unnatural fold where it doesn't belong because of where it was folded on the paper. And if this is too slow for you, you can go ahead and fast forward and kind of fast forward and look through to see what's all involved in each of these. So, and the only reason why I'm spending a little time on this right at the moment is so that I'm waiting for my basket to finish drying so I can wrap it. So, that is the other little book's insides. Set that down. Open this up. Put glue here for binding. There you go. That gets pressed in there. And then I'm going to grab one of my little clips to hold it in place while it dries. So, got her. And now we're going to hold it while it dries. Set that off to the side. All right. This should be dry enough to manipulate it now. So I can wrap it. So here's a wrap. And we're just going to wrap it all the way around this guy. By the top, work it way down. So. And this is going to get messy. Come here. So this ends up looking like a little basket. Sticky, sticky. One of my friends just asked me if I like the song What's Up by Four Non Blondes, and I've done that one by request a few times. So I'm guessing she's requesting another song. And I was like, yeah, I can do Four Non Blondes. We like that song. So definitely we can do that song. If I do this right, it should fit fairly evenly all the way around. All right, let's add some more glue. I heard a really funny version of Burn on Bonds too, done by somebody else, so I thought that'd be kind of fun. Do that interpretation. Building a little basket. And I will probably come in here and do some music too. Just do it as a live. May as well. What the heck, right? This is going to be one of my main platforms. I've kind of been staying off of a lot of the other mainstream media, so. Just because people are going to listen, they're going to come here anyway, right? All right. Whoop. Whoop. Hey. Oh, this stuff's being a pain. Okay. Come on. I'm going to tuck that in there. So I'm making a little basket here. And my fingers are sticking to the glue. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So if you enjoy what you see, please like and subscribe. And help grow my channel, because this is just, I like being random, so you're going to see all kinds of different things that I do. I had stayed off of YouTube for the most part, just because I hadn't really thought, you know, and then I kept getting bugged by so many people. Hey, you should be posting that. You should be going through what you're doing to construct these really cool miniatures and things that I work on. So sure, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to build little miniatures so people can see. And if they have questions about how to make something, they can always hop in here and go, I wonder how she did that. I am by no means perfect. Actually, I'm way far away from being perfect, but I can definitely supply people with at least a little bit of information on how to build some of this stuff. And come from a wide variety of background if you read my profile. One of the other things I don't have listed on my profile is that I do auto mechanics too, so That just happens to be one of the many, many things that I do. All right, so we've got the bottom wrapped. So the bottom of our basket is now wrapped. So that's our bottom of the basket. And now I'm going to wrap the handle. And I'll get another piece here for wrapping the handle. I certainly don't come in here to be liked. I come in here to be watched because of the variety of different things that I work on. I'm not sure how this is going to wrap, but I'm going to try it my best. I was supposed to wrap around it, so. Now this will be fun. Ooh. Ah! Okay. No, don't leave me. Back up there. Thank you. Oh, you're a booger. Stay. Try it again. Ah! Get up there. Stay put. Okay. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay. I can kink it each time. That works too. So let's try and kink it each time we wrap it around. There we go. Didn't put glue on the inside, just on the outside. And hopefully I can wrap it fast enough that I don't have to re-glue, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to re-glue because glue tends to set up pretty quick. Doesn't help that my hands shake. Really doesn't. My fingers twitching. Hey, my fingers twitching. There, come on. All right. Try and make sure I keep the basket in view here. My little cork pad kind of serves too as my little centering thing, so I know I can stay centered in the picture frame. There. Yeah, I'll need to add a little more glue. Because it's starting to dry too fast there. Okay. I've got my 30-year class reunion this year. That'll be fun. That's in July. And I intend to go. If you guys have class reunions, it's a good way to touch base with people. And you know, see how people's lives panned out. Had some people that I went to school with who have managed to be quite successful, and other people not so much, but it's just nice being able to touch base with the people I went to school with. Though most of them kind of picked on me because I was kind of out there, still out there, kind of not didn't fit the mold that everybody else does, so. And of course, I am a Gen Xer, if that says anything. Born in that time frame, those latchkey kids. So, and I was often forgotten at play practices and everything else. So, yeah, one of those. Hey, look at there. I managed to wrap the handle. All right. I am going to put a little bit of glue on that outside edge and stick that on that. Just to hold that in place. Okay. Sorry for the blurry. There you go. All right. So it'll take me a half an hour to finish up making two little books. Our one little pretty picture scape. And here's our little books. And when I come back, I will do the other little pieces that I said I was going to do. So we've got the little basket. Very cute little basket. Little biscuit. And our picture, which we did. It's like a 3D picture. And then we've got our two books here, which I could probably undo right now and they'd be just fine because that glue sets up pretty quick. But we're going to set these guys aside and I'll undo those a little bit later. So, books aside. All right, thanks for watching this little bit. I'll come back a little bit. Thanks for watching.